here at Boston College.
We have NBA GMs in the house tonight, Danny Ainge, Lawrence Frank, and other countless NBA execs, and they're here to see this guy, Ky Bowman, one of the best guards in all of college basketball. He does a little bit of everything for this Boston College club. He's an excellent rebounder. He's improved his three-point shooting, and he's a guy that can put you on the poster, as he did right here in this Minnesota game. Outstanding talent for Boston College.
Going to be fun watching him in action tonight. How about for the Friars, Alpha Diallo for them?
One of the better players in the Big East. He does a little bit of everything for this Providence team. Ed Cooley will play him at the point guard, and then when they go to a smaller lineup, he'll play the 5, and he is a key matchup for Boston College. He can pose some problems in this game.
Both coaches were talking to us about how they're trying to figure out who's going to be able to stop one of these guys, or at least try to contain them, and they don't know how it's going to get done.
Yeah, many have tried, and look at these numbers right here. Both guys getting it done for their respective teams.
Looking right above center court here in Conti Forum, and we are underway tonight in this matchup between the Friars and the Eagles.
Mike Providence comes out in man-to-man. See how long they stay in the man-to-man defense against Boston College. And the last time out against Rhode Island, they switched up in the second half and went to a lot of matchup zone. And Boston College comes into this game shooting 29% from the three-point line.
Eagles have it here, and underneath the basket, the kick out to Chapman, one of the most dangerous three-point shooters as well, along with Bowman. And here he is, first one up, first one good.
Well, if you're Boston College, that is a great sign. Chapman has been struggling from the three-point line, and they need to get him going early in this game.
A.J. Reeves, talented freshman for Providence, number 10 with it now. Now Diallo. Rebound by Bowman. Tabs trying to feed the cutter, get knocked away. Here comes Reeves. And the finish is there from David Duke.
And that's beautiful transition offense by Providence off the turnover. An unselfish play by the Friars.
Boston College coming off the win against Sacred Heart the end of November, 81-73. 6-1 on the season. On the drive, Tabs. Rebounded by Jimmy Nichols. Underneath, and an easy one there on the feed, getting down to Young for the basket.
And that's a beautiful post-entry pass that time, and an excellent seal. The pass was on point, the rotation late for Boston College, and that's just an easy bucket.
Providence on a 3-game winning streak after losing to Michigan in the middle of November. They beat Fairleigh Dickinson, Iona, and Rhode Island. Getting ready for tonight's matchup. Bowman missing on the 3. His first attempt from the outside, and a foul on the floor. It's going to be on the Friars. And it'll be on Khalif Young, his first. How about the job Ed Cooley's done here at Providence?
Well, his record speaks for itself, and one of the better X's and O coaches in all of college basketball.
Look out, flying through the lane, Winston Tabs, and he draws the foul.
Tabs taken off right there. He was outside that restricted area, taking flight, and good thing he stepped over. Tabs was trying to get on SportsCenter right there.
Best free throw shooter on the team is Tabs. We're tied at 4. Jim Christian, 5th season now for Boston College, and you know this has to be the year that he's been looking for now, with the talent, with the way he's grown, his players, the recruiting, off to a very good start. What do you think?
Well, he's done an excellent job. He's turned Jerome Robinson into a lottery pick last year, a guy that was really under-recruited, so does an excellent job in a key area, player development.
Out of bounds off of BC. What about with a guy like Bowman, now only a junior? It's kind of what happened with Robinson last year. Is this the last year for him?
Yeah, it's similar. Again, a guy that was under-recruited, was really going to play football, was recruited more as a football player, Ky Bowman. And tonight, I talked about it, we have a bunch of NBA execs in the building to watch him. And we're going to get into that later in the broadcast, how he flirted with going to the NBA last season and decided to come back. Obviously, Boston College very happy to have him.
Oh, what a feed from Young, and the cutter was Diallo. Couldn't finish. Still loose ball and out of bounds to Providence. Watching shoot around today for Providence, the guys just really seem to be having fun out there. They trust each other, and I think really love playing for Coach Cooley. Pass taken away. Tabs. Oh, nifty move.
What body control by Tabs, sensing that somebody was behind him, trying to block and finish on the other side with the left hand. Degree of difficulty off the chart that time for the freshman, Tabs.
Looking for the tie here. David Duke knocks it down for Providence. 7 apiece.
Nice ball movement that time, and Boston College started out in the matchup zone, and again, that's a good quality look for Providence.
Bowman. Going to be an offensive.
Well, this started on the defensive side for Winston Tabs right here, just being active in the passing lane, and then he's off to the races, sensing somebody behind him, and then finishing with the left. He made that look easy.
Just a freshman, Malcolm, part of the new wave of Boston College Eagles here for Coach Christian.
Went off for 28 points the last time out, and providing that extra scoring boost for Boston College. And Jim Christian, as we take a look at another nice offensive possession for Providence against that zone. And again, that's just great interior passing. I count that down, 3 uncontested shots for Providence.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Nichols on the feed from David Duke, and now Young's got the rebound, and the Friars on a little mini 5-0 run here. Good up fake by Reeves, and on the take is too strong. Young the offensive rebound. And finally pulled away by Stephon Mitchell for Boston College. And it's Chapman. Tie the game at 9.
Well, another finish with the left. Chapman that time showing some nice body control, taking the hit and then finishing with the opposite hand.
3 ball in the corner. Reeves, yes. And this guy, Malcolm, shooting at over 48% from 3-point range on the season.
He's got the best footwork that I've seen of any freshman in college basketball thus far. He comes off down screens, that time a little fade back to the corner, and he is one of the best pure scorers for freshmen in all of college basketball.
Going to be a moving screen here on BC, and that'll take us to a timeout. First of the evening, almost 5 minutes gone by. Providence leading by 3. Back in a moment.
What you want, like I can like.
I'm here with a former BC Eagle. How about your dancing skills back in the day?
That would be a no. You don't want to see me dancing on air. And Ky Bowman does a little bit of everything for this Boston College team. And you know, Mike, the one thing I really like about him, he is an excellent rebounder, probably one of the better, if not the best, rebounding guard in college basketball.
Well, for sure. Out of players that are 6'1" or less, there's only 1 of 3 in the country where he's averaging 6.7 rebounds or more a game. That shows you his skills, as you're right. But here's a big 3 put down by Jimmy Nichols Jr., and Providence has hit a couple of 3s from the corner here early.
Yeah, Ed Cooley has to be happy with how his team has executed. They're getting wide open looks, dunks and wide open looks from the perimeter, that time a 3. Boston College is going to have to do a better job closing out on the open shooters.
Tabs for 3, not there. Rebound Providence by Young. Another kick out from Nichols, and on the miss was Diallo for 3. He's still scoreless here in this first half, as is Ky Bowman, who's the top player for BC. Well, Not anymore.
And that's such a difficult shot. And he made it look easy. Taking the hit, going away from the basket, and then a floater over a defender. That's an NBA move right there.
Free throw line jumper by Nichols, not there. You heard from Coach Cooley in the shooter, and he wanted to try to see if they could overwhelm BC with their size. Starting on the inside, working their way out. Tabs.
Right now, Mike, nobody on the offensive glass for Boston College the last few possessions. You would like to get at least one or two guys trying to crash on the offensive glass.
Reeves way off on that one. Bowman the rebound on the run. Bowman for three. And that's out of bounds off of BC's Hamilton. They're just not getting the bounces here early. And how about Bowman, who's also a football player too? I mean, he could have gone that route as well.
Well, I asked him about this, and here's a guy that turned down Alabama. Auburn could have played there, and not too many people can say they turned down an offer to play at Alabama and for Nick Saban, but he is that type of athlete, and certainly a big reason why the NBA scouts are here tonight looking at him. He's got superior size, athletic ability, and he just puts so much pressure on the opposing defense.
Foul on Bowman, and picks up the ticket down low. That's going to be his second.
And this is where he is most dangerous in transition. That right there, that's a difficult shot, and he's so difficult to keep out of the paint. But right now, though, foul trouble. 2 early fouls for Ky Bowman, and that's certainly not a good look or what you want to see if you're Boston College and Jim Christian.
That's really going to change things now. We'll see if he does return into this first half, and at what point, as Chris Herron Jr. checks in for Coach Christian. And there's a foul underneath as Diallo is going to head to the free throw line, and this foul's on Tabs. That's his first. Leading scorer and rebounder for Providence at the free throw line. Pretty good numbers this season, along with 17 points a game, averaging just over 9 rebounds as well. And it's a 5-point lead for the Friars. Our next NBA Wednesday night doubleheader on ESPN. Joel Embiid and the Sixers taking on Kawhi and the East leading Raptors at 8 o'clock Eastern. And we've got the Spurs battling the Lakers. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, the ESPN app. NBA Wednesday night. Don't miss out on that.
Well, thinking of Kawhi Leonard, I had a chance to call the Maui for radio, ESPN radio, and had a chance to see Gonzaga.
Yes.
And Rui Hachimura reminds me so much of Kawhi Leonard. He's that type of player, excellent defensively, great mid-range game, and he does pretty much everything for that Zags team.
Hamilton on the fadeaway, not there. Friars on the run, David Duke. Trying to go inside to Watson. Duke takes contact, and the ball trickles out to BC, and here they come. Mitchell. Chapman with the up and under. Wow.
This time he comes back to the right hand. The first time he finished with the left. This time knife through the D. And he's more known as a three-point shooter and showing off a little finesse with the touch around the basket.
Watson. Pretty good touch inside, just didn't get the bounce. 4-point lead still for Providence. Chapman, he could shoot that ball from 3. Hit one earlier, foul on the rebound. Mitchell will head to the free throw line. 4-point lead for the Friars here at Boston College. Coming back in a moment. The B Foundation for Cancer Research, as we welcome you back to Boston College. Mike Corey, Malcolm Huckabee. And how about, Jimmy V and everything that he stood for and he accomplished over his career. Just I love this week in college basketball. We support, the foundation and all that he's done.
It really, it's remarkable how much has been raised, the research, and certainly cancer has impacted so many folks here at the ESPN family and beyond. And it's just a wonderful thing, wonderful time for us to give to such a worthy cause.
And look at this. I love this shot here. The significance of this, right? 1963, Seaford High School. That's in Long Island. First person in that high school's history to be all conference in football, basketball, and baseball. Jimmy V. And look out! Throwing it down is Jarius Hamilton for BC. Three-pointer in the corner now by the Friars, and that's Malik White. And that stops a streak of 6 straight misses. And they're back up to a 4-point lead.
And that's the storyline of this game. Right now, Providence over 60% from beyond the arc. Right now, too many open looks. Credit Providence. They're just executing on the offensive side.
Chapman. Mitchell for BC was undercut underneath, and a foul's called.
All right, here we're going to introduce you to Jarius Hamilton. Beautiful pass that time by Chris Herron Jr. and Hamilton with the finish. That's just a nice execution on the offensive side. And Hamilton sticking with the play, trailing and showing off the hops a little bit. And he's going to be a key guy tonight with Nick Popovic out. He's going to have to play some quality minutes for Boston College.
That's a good point. Now we've got a traveling violation. Yeah, we forgot to mention that there with Popovic, who averages 12 points, just over 6 rebounds a game for BC, and that's what Coach Jim Christian and company are missing here tonight in this one.
Yeah, and Ed Cooley, we talked to him at shoot-around this morning. They want to try to impose their will and use their size advantage with their guards and also forwards to try to get a lot of easy looks around the basket.
Reeves inside. And he's a guy that went to school right down the street here, Brimmer and May. He's out of Roxbury, Massachusetts. Got a lot of friends and family in the house here tonight. And what about the talent that he has as a freshman for Providence?
Oh, he's a guy that's going to be playing for a paycheck, whether he stays 4 years at Providence or not. He is just that good and great size. And one of the better scorers for a freshman in the country.
He kicks it out to White, who misses on the 3, and a rebound put down by Jimmy Nichols. Heads up.
Oh, well, we introduce you to Hamilton for Boston College. Well, let me introduce you to Jimmy Nichols. Right here with the
back at BC, Jimmy Nichols, who just threw that last one down off to the rebound. Malcolm, he's a freshman as well. We talked about A.J. Reeves. You got Jimmy Nichols, a freshman out of South Carolina. David Duke out of Providence right down the road. That's a talented group.
Yeah, the future very bright for this Friars club, and a lot of energy that time, though. Nichols showing off the hops.
Nice block here, and Nichols again, freshman, accounting for a third of the team's scoring. Powered his way inside is Watson and couldn't get the roll. Bowman head of steam, and he's fouled. Do they count it? Let's see. Yes.
Well, we talked about his ability to take the hit. This right here, that football background, Nick Saban would like that right there. And certainly upper body strength, and then his ability to concentrate after taking the hit. That's just such good body control. And again, Kai Bowman, big reason why all these NBA scouts are here. His offensive game, yes, that's a plus, but for me, what makes him special, his ability to impact the game on both sides. Defensively, he's excellent. Rebounding guard, one of the best in the country.
Nichols was called for his second foul for Providence. Bowman, remember, has 2 fouls right now. There's still over 9 minutes to go in this first half. And they're trying to feed Watson, and he converts it this time.
And that's excellent recognition by Providence. Again, they feel that that is their advantage. And if I'm Ed Cooley, I'm calling his number. Again, he's getting some quality looks. And right now, though, Boston College, he's catching the ball too deep in the paint.
Bowman on the take. Goes against Watson. And another foul and a rebound, as Luka Kraljevic was fouled. Wednesday night doubleheader here on ESPN. The Sixers and the Raptors get it started at 8 o'clock, and then the Spurs and the Lakers will do battle. It's our Wednesday night NBA doubleheader. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. As you just saw a shot of Celtics GM Danny Ainge, and you said Lawrence Frank, the GM for the Clippers, here as well, right next to him and sitting back. But how about it? You know, they're here in town to try to check out some of these outstanding players led by Ky Bowman for BC.
Yeah, and it's, such a difficult task to, evaluate some of these college players, because a lot of times they're in a system that they probably will not play in when they get to the next level, or if they're fortunate enough to get to the next level. And, Bowman creates so much attention, so he's normally double or triple team in most of these games. So not an easy task, but certainly he's just so talented.
Reeves, tough shot underneath. Watson for the tip. Again, count it. Well, when he caught it the last time, Malcolm, then they double-teamed him immediately. But it's hard to protect against his presence at 6'10", 250.
And this is where missing Nick Popovic really hurts Boston College, having his size in the lineup.
Bowman is fouled.
And this right here, again, just a lack of size for Boston College, and just great work by Watson on the offensive glass. And that's the energy and effort that Ed Cooley talked about this morning in shoot around, that he wanted to impose his will on the offensive glass.
You had alluded to it earlier. Jerome Robinson picked in the NBA, 13th pick overall last year. I mean, they had that trio working in perfection. Robinson, Bowman, Chapman, with that three-point efficiency outside. How much has it changed now with one of those guys departing? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the person that's really impacted is Chapman, and he's a guy that shot a high percentage from the three-point line. He's been struggling a little bit, and again, obviously not having a guy that went in the lottery last year, taking a lot of pressure off him. He's not getting as many open looks as he did last year.
Diallo on the feed to the top, and Watson has been pushing his authority down low. Another basket inside. He's started to heat up. 6 points.
Well, right now they're going to have to figure out how to keep Nate Watson off the offensive glass, because really that's been their offense right now. Any miss, he is just cleaning up on the offensive glass.
He's got 3 offensive rebounds thus far. It's an 8-point lead for Providence. 7.5 to go first half. Herron. And an offensive foul.
Mike, right now it has been all Nate Watson all over the offensive glass. Right now, Boston College with no answer.
So a 2-point lead for BC now after that 15-0 run. And how about Herron and what he's done for the spark for this group?
Well, he came into this game averaging 2 points a game. Right now he has 9 points, 2 boards, 0 turnovers, and he's been perfect from beyond the arc, and provided the spark that changed this game when he was entered into the lineup. And it has been all Boston College in this last 4-minute stretch.
Malcolm, sometimes it takes one of these type of games, right, to all of a sudden spark a player for the rest of the season, really, if you will. He had 14 total points coming into tonight, and as you said, 9 here in this one.
Well, he's been solid. Again, he's not asked to be a scorer. They want him to come in and play good D and knock down open shots. He's done more than that tonight. Young
for Providence, and he's fouled. And it's Khalif Young, and he'll get 2. Now, before we went to timeout, let's not gloss over this. Bowman picks up his 3rd personal foul for BC, so he's out right now, and that will certainly change things here, at least for the final 3 minutes of this first half, because you don't expect him to come back.
Yeah, and credit Providence. Ed Cooley knew coming into this that they had to keep him out of transition, and the Providence defense has done a nice job in transition D, coming up with charges, and then they're just putting bodies in front of him, making it really difficult for him to get to the basket.
Foul was on BC's Hamilton, and got a piece of that rebound there. No harm done after the 2 misses. BC's Herron has 3 for 3 from the outside with his 3-pointers. The rest of the team right now is 1 for 7. And here he is. On the feed, Hamilton. Too strong. Mitchell offensive rebound. And it's a jump ball. and it'll be Providence possession. Fans, coming up on Saturday, ESPN has a doubleheader of college hoops for you. We'll start with Big East rivals Syracuse and Georgetown, old Big East foes, if you will. There, the first matchup at 3:30 Eastern, and then Zion Williams and number 3 Duke hosting Yale at Cameron Indoor. Both games also on the ESPN app. Watch it anywhere that you are. Inside Watson. How about right back to his presence, Malcolm? That was a big story of this first half so far.
Well, if I'm Ed Cooley, I'm telling them nobody shoot the ball until Watson gets a touch in the post. Right now, he is having his way with Boston College. They've had no answer for him, and that's been their best offense.
Tabs trying to no-look feed inside for Hamilton. Take it away. Friars ball. 2 minutes to go first half. Reeves for 3. Watson grabs this one after a couple of tips. And now Diallo. Nice move inside. Foul on the Friars, going the other way. And Malcolm, how many chances are they going to get there?
Well, that was better that time by Mitchell blocking out, but fortunate that time to come up with an over to back. And certainly Diallo would love to have that back. Nice spin move, just wasn't able to finish, but certainly, again, you can see Coach Christian and staff, all their bigs, it's simple. Just turn, put a body on Watson, and you must keep him off the offensive glass.
First foul on Watson. BC back in front, Stephon Mitchell.
Reminds me of my days when I played Providence. They had a player by the name of Michael Smith who wound up going and playing for a paycheck afterwards, but it reminds me an awful lot of Watson. And he just crashed the offensive glass, and they're a handful once the shot goes up. And Watson, again, just excellent job being active on the offensive glass.
A minute and a half remaining first half. Not a good pass by Diallo. Trying to go inside for Nichols. Defender was right in front. Crowd wants Herron to take every shot right now, right?
Well, why not? He's been perfect.
Here's a pull-up from Tabs, yes. Winston Tabs, another freshman for BC. They lead by 4. He's got 6. Eagles shooting 45% from the field. So is Providence. Minutes ago. Watson, crowd wanted to travel, no call. Rebound pulled home by Mitchell. Tabs, and that is going to be a blocking foul. Called on Nichols. That's going to be his 3rd.
Let's see. Yeah, it's such a difficult call. That one right there. Now we have the ability to play it and replay it. The referee's making a decision right there on the court. That is such a difficult call. I felt if he wasn't falling back and he held his ground right here, he looks like he's falling back before the player got to him.
Right.
And I think that's what really messed up that call. But that one right there could have gone either way. Obviously, Ed Cooley not happy with that call going Boston College's way.
Well, Malcolm, you said it. You know, it's about real speed. And I talked to the officials before every game, and we've got one of the best crews in the country here on this one. Mike Eads, Jeff Anderson, Mike Roberts. They've combined to work 7 Final Fours, and that's the thing. You can watch anything all you want and replay. I mean, 99% of the time, they get it right. And especially at real speed, it's tough. Fadeaway jumper here, and that is by Malik White for Providence, and it's back to a 4-point game.
That's just a tough shot right there, going away from the basket, taking the hit, and a lot of contact, no call on that one, but excellent, again, concentration by White.
Ten seconds to go first half. Tabs lost the handle. Providence 6 seconds to work with. Here they come. White, corner, Reeves needs to put it up. Dishes. Is there a foul called? No, there is not. Diallo unable to put it in. That's the end of the half, and BC went on a 21-6 run to end the half after they were trailing by 11.
And most of that with their star player, Ky Bowman, on the bench. If you're Boston College and Jim Christian, you have to be pleased.
Phil Murphy, Dallin Cuff, Sean Farnham in the studio standing by. Let's go right back to those guys now for the halftime report.
Thanks, guys. Welcome into the E-Trade halftime report.
Well, the guy that has to get going for Providence is Alpha Diallo. Held to 2 points in that first. He's Providence's leading scorer. He's their best player. He needs to be big in this second half.
Well, right there you go. He just called it, and he delivers a three.
He's just too good. He's too good of a player to be held to 2 points. And again, they're going to need him with this young backcourt on the road against Boston College. They need their star player to step up.
First made basket of the night and a foul on Providence. It's on Jimmy Nichols Jr., and that's not good for him. That's his fourth. Ky Bowman had 3 fouls in the first half for BC as well. He kind of weathered through that storm, and now Nichols picks up 4, and very early he's got to head to the bench, and Isaiah Jackson comes in. Bowman for Chapman. That's a 3-ball.
That's great action that time by Boston College. Another little pin down for Chapman. No heads that time or help from the big, and that's a clean look for Chapman.
Reeves working on Chapman. Stepped out of bounds. Malcolm, you have a little bit of everything in this game tonight, right? You talked about the star Diallo for Providence, Ky Bowman for BC. How about some of the freshmen on each team as well tonight?
Well, they've been impressive, and again, both teams getting a spark from their bench.
That was one of them right there that just missed. Mitchell for Jim Christian's group. That's Stephon Mitchell, 41. How about his first half numbers? 5 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals, a career high for that guy.
Almost double-digit rebounds in the first half. I'd say that's pretty impressive for the young fella.
Tip ball up and in by Young for Providence.
Mike, that continues to be the problem area for Boston College. Cleaning up the defensive glass.
Nice feed inside. Bowman trying to get it down low to Reyes. And now it's Chapman, and he's fouled shooting the 3-ball. That'll be Reeves' first foul tonight for Providence. Jordan Chapman, what a great story. Senior out of Vancouver, Washington. With the BYU. He's already got his degree. Working on his master's here. He's married. At his mission over in Taiwan. I mean, there's a little bit of everything that this guy has done so far throughout his life and in his career of playing basketball as well.
Well, all under the age of 30. Wow, that's a quite a journey he's been on. And speaking with Coach Jim Christian, he said, look, he's been our most consistent guy over the past 2 years, and a calming presence for them, an excellent three-point shooter, and a guy I think too, though, that really benefited from playing with the 2 star guards last year, Bowman, and then also Jerome Robinson now with the Clippers, who is a lottery pick.
I had a little fun with Chapman yesterday. Did a little 3-point shooting contest with him after practice, and I think he had 8 of 15. We do 15 shots. His percentage is even better tonight at 66%.
Well, I got to work on your form.
I do. At the free throw line for Providence, David Duke.
Another talented freshman. David Duke, again, the future very bright for this Friars club. I really am impressed with his size, and just the ceiling is so high for him. Does not look like a freshman. He's a guy that's another big guard for this Providence backcourt, and able to do so many things with the ball.
Tabs has it. Checked by White. Fighting through it. Offensive rebound, BC. Bowman with a step. Now Bowman's got 11 points for the Eagles. 7-point lead here for BC. 3 minutes into this second half. White. Oh, nice offensive rebound. Put back it in by Diallo. And a timeout by Providence as they have the lead down to 5. And we'll step aside. 16:39 to go, second half. Good one here in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. Back in a moment. Back at Boston College, and the Eagles, they tabbed this guy as the nation's most dynamic guard, Kai Bowman. Malcolm, what do you think about it?
Well, he's the only player in college basketball averaging 19.6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal per game. And on the other side, Diallo does a little bit of everything for Providence, averaging almost a double-double coming into this game. Both guys doing it all.
Bowman on the miss, and there was a foul on the rebound on Providence. And it's going to be on Watson. It's his second. Diallo leading the team for Providence in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals out of Brewster Academy, originally from New York, and just a junior. Bowman, a junior as well. Those are our stat line tonight for those two. Tabs for 3. Rebound Providence. See if they try to get it down to Watson again. Instead, on the spin, it's Diallo, and now really probably starting to think, I got to take over a little bit here now and get to the bucket.
Well, you're not going to guard him one-on-one if you're Boston College. There needs to be help, and that needs to get there quicker. Right now, in the second half, he has 7 points, and again, we talked about it. He is their star player, and he is the guy that they look to when they need a bucket. Starting to pick it up, though.
Closely contested contest here tonight. 3-point game at BC. That'll do, huh, Malcolm?
I really do.
A little behind on that.
What a beautiful sight right there,
Certainly.
though.
How about a great game inside here tonight at Conti Forum? 3-point game in favor of the Eagles.
Well, we couldn't have asked for anything better, but this guy right here, Alpha Diallo, we talked about his numbers in the first. All he's done in the second is be perfect, and one of the better players, not just in the Big East, but in the country, came into this game averaging close to a double-double, and Ed Cooley said it best. He does a little bit of everything for us. He'll play the point, he'll play the 2, 3, 4, and when they go small, he'll play the 5. One of the most versatile players in all of college.
How about it? He's tied the game. Now with 10 of his 12 points in the second half, and he's a perfect 4 for 4 from the field in the second frame after starting 0 for 8. Heron had an outstanding first half, number 4 for the Eagles, now for Bowman. Just 4.5 minutes gone by, second frame, and we're at a tie game. Chapman had a double team on him as he tried to feed it down to Hamilton. Providence a chance to go back in front. Watson got it.
Beautiful execution that time, identifying they wanted to get Watson in the paint.
9-0 run by Providence as Bowman misses on the fadeaway, and it's out of bounds, staying with BC.
And Mike, this offensive possession by Watson, set up before he catches the ball right here. Look at him work to get into the paint. That's just too deep. And then beautiful elevation on the little jumper.
Right into Hamilton on the inbounds, and he is fouled. It's going to be on Watson. It'll be his third. First Providence lead here since 33-32 back in the first half as they lead by a deuce.
And how that happened, I like what Ed Cooley did. Changed up the defense. He went to a little three-quarter court pressure just to slow Boston College down, and then they went back into a matchup zone, and that confused BC, and then they were able to get Diallo going. And Ed Cooley, you'll see him do that a lot in games where he'll change up the defense to give the offense a different look, and that's worked here in this second half thus far.
Well, if you think about it, too, what does it do sometimes? It gets you an extra possession or two, where if it takes the offense that long to figure it out, you just stole a couple of extra possessions there.
Absolutely. Right now, Boston College, though, falls back into a 2-3 matchup zone, and they're going to have to now identify the shooters, including Diallo, who's improved his three-point shooting percentage.
Tie game at 55. Duke slices through some traffic and finishes with a left. Providence has made their last 5 shots. And to your point here, too, you extend it out a little bit, you use up some of the shot clock, and then you give the offense another look to try to figure things out. Can they do it? Heron, wild runner, blocked partially by Watson and out of bounds. It's going to stay with BC.
That time they trapped out of the three-quarter court pressure. The previous time they just fell back into a matchup. So again, they're just continuing to change up their defense.
Heron, shot clock down to 2. Bowman delivers. Bowman's got 13 points for BC. Now Jackson on the jumper. Rebound Hamilton. Chapman to Heron for 3. And Heron got a piece of it, but then there's a foul on BC, and it's going to be Malik White that will head to the free throw line. How about some of this athleticism here tonight, Malcolm, huh?
My goodness, all around. A pretty spin move, and then outside the paint, showing off the length. And, you know, Mike, if I'm Providence, though, I am forcing him to shoot jumpers. Again, the one thing you don't want to give up with Ky Bowman, one-on-one coverage, and then allow him to get into the paint. But I'd almost rather live with him shooting beyond the arc as opposed to getting to the basket. He's just too good at finishing around the rim.
Well, you think about the three-point shooting tonight for BC, 5 of 14, and to your point. And they've already shown, or at least Bowman has, that he has the ability to get to the rack, and you've got to help out on him. Chapman. Hamilton. Got it.
Not bad defense by Watson that time, but just better offense by Hamilton. Good contest, and just nice elevation and body control.
7 minutes gone by in the second half. 2-point lead for BC. Here's Watson again, working on Hamilton. Goes baseline. Oh, the help comes, and a rejection by Mitchell.
Excellent help side defense that time by Mitchell, realizing Watson's been a handful. Give your teammates some help. Raise up. Now, the only thing I don't like about this, keep it in play. Yes, right. The crowd oohs and ahs, but it's still Providence ball.
7 on the shot clock. Diallo faking on the 3. Blocking foul.
And Mike, that's why that loss of possession by Boston College, and I'm calling it that because I felt like he could have blocked that and then kept possession. Now Diallo's on the free throw line. So again, you give Providence another opportunity, another possession, and the result now, Diallo's on the free throw line.
Well, being here in New England, of course, Danny Ainge, GM for the Celtics in town. I remember the great Red Auerbach used to say, you know, okay, that's great. You rejected it out of bounds. What did you do? What did you get? Maybe a little intimidation, but just like you said, the ball stays with that team. He's like, let's block it in bounds where we get a chance to run the other way and get something out of it.
Nobody better than Bill Russell at doing that.
Right. There's Ainge. Just to the left of us here tonight on press row, taking this in. There's so much talent on the court. Talking a lot about Kai Bowman for BC and Alpha Diallo for Providence, but some very talented freshmen for both teams as well. Here's Diallo at the free throw line. Chance to tie this game up.
Well, Diallo, a guy that struggled from the three-point line last season, 21%. And Ed Cooley raves about his work ethic. All he did, work on his footwork, get some reps in, and he's up over 40% for the season. And if he keeps shooting at that clip, he is just going to continue to be a matchup nightmare for anybody, and in particular when he gets into Big East play.
Providence second half points. Diallo with 12, the rest of the team with 8. How about this tonight? 15 ties and 6 lead changes in this one. Bowman. Fell on the rebound on Providence. Going to be on Isaiah Jackson. The second.
Mike, I've been impressed too with Hamilton, the freshman for Boston College. He's been very active on both ends, in particular on the offensive glass.
Yep. Talking about number 1 there in white, but they couldn't get the ball in, so they call a timeout. And we'll be right back. Just over 12 minutes to go in this game. Tied at 59. Second half for Alpha Diallo here for Providence, Malcolm.
Well, he's been perfect in that first half, 2 points. In the second, he has been 4 for 4 from the floor, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, and this right here, just beautiful body control and finish. Again, if you're Boston College, you're not going to guard him single coverage. You have to get help.
Look out, BC responding to break the tie at 59. Now 61-59, Eagles back in front. And Mitchell able to come away with a steal. It was Tabs on the previous play for BC. Mitchell on the defensive end. Now Bowman controls it. How about that dunk for BC just before on the inbounds?
Well, just no communication that time by Providence, and really that should not happen underneath, out of bounds. You must protect the basket.
Chapman lost it out of bounds.
Mike, back to my earlier point about Diallo. Single coverage, he's going to score. That last possession, you see Mitchell that time shaded over when he was trying to post. Again, you have to, almost like covering a receiver, you got to slide over somebody like a safety to watch him at all times to provide help.
Now Chapman's on Diallo as he tries to go baseline. Knocked away for the moment. There'll be a foul on the floor here on BC. And we'll remind you, coming up next over on ESPN at 9 o'clock, the 24th annual Jimmy V Classic rolls on. Second game with Florida and West Virginia. Don't miss out on that on ESPN and the ESPN app. Jimmy V Classic continues on ESPN tonight at 9 o'clock. Hamilton with a second foul for BC. And tied up for the moment was Duke. Now to Watson. Jackson finishes it. Tie game again. 61 all.
Nice little touch pass that time by Watson to Jackson to finish.
What are you looking for here in the offensive end, Malcolm?
Well, I'd run a high ball screen with Bowman.
Instead gets it over to Chapman. And a little pesky play there by White for Providence. Ball loose, they'll call a jump. And it's going to be Providence possession. I mean, sometimes you think, right, he's so good that he could just do it on his own. But you're right, get some help up there. Get him a screen, get something moving, get the defense moving around, having to make a decision.
Well, that right there, though, excellent defense. Credit Providence coming up with the turnover.
Back to a good one here tonight at BC, 69-65, 7:59 remaining. Mike Corey alongside Malcolm Huckabee, as we've had no lead larger than 3 points in the last 8.5 minutes. Highly contested matchup. Chapman taking a rare rest for BC. At the free throw line is Tabbs. Well, Malcolm's got to be pretty interesting for you here, former BC Eagle yourself back in the day. There it is. I like it.
Had a lot more here back in the day as well, too, sporting a high top fade. But these games are always fun. They're always highly contested and a lot of energy. And tonight, no different. We got a great ball game going on, and both teams playing well.
You told me earlier really about the no love lost here between these two programs, right? Going back a long time. Very heated rivalry.
But talent on both sides.
Turnover to BC, 6-point lead. I know it's early in the season, but where do you think each of these two teams could end up getting to? You know, you just project down the road here in 2018-19.
Well, Providence with the young backcourt, they're impressive, and they're going to continue to get better under Ed Cooley. And these games are the ones that are going to help them as they get closer to Big East Conference play.
Tabbs on the miss. And a three ball, and no good by Reeves, but he was hacked, and he's going to head to the line for three.
Well, that's one of the few mistakes we've seen thus far in this game by Heron. A poor closeout, and that's the last thing you want to do is put Reeves on the free throw line. Heads up play that time by Providence.
Reeves coming into tonight, almost 50% from three-point range. Out of Roxbury, Massachusetts, not far away, and he's hit the first two.
And Mike, that is all set up because you have to respect his three-point shooting. Not time to close out late and result the foul.
Well, I saw firsthand about his three-point shooting today in the nationwide three-point shooting contest I'm doing with a player from each team across the country this year. He had 12 of 15 threes earlier today, right after the shoot-around.
Yeah, you had no shot of winning that one.
Definitely not. He's one of the most accurate three-point shooters in the country, and for making that many as well. Foul, and it's going to be on Tabbs for BC. Got to be set with the screens. His second. They're cracking down on that this year for sure.
And that one was clear. Good call by the refs. That's right in front of him. Gave him a little hip check. And out in the middle of the floor, they're going to call that every time.
No doubt. Very good call. Got to watch out for that. Now it's Providence a chance to come within one or tie with a three under 7 minutes to go. Reeves on the take. Fouled, and a chance to tie it at the free throw line.
One of the most impressive scoring freshmen in all of college basketball, A.J. Reeves. Take the hit, finish, beautiful body control and concentration by Reeves.
Couldn't convert the three-point play. It's a 1-point lead still for BC. As they're saying, settle it down here, as Tabbs brings it back out. Bowman, checked by David Duke. There's that high ball screener calling for Malcolm, and now Mitchell blocked and fouled from behind by Diallo. His third. Mitchell is still down.
Well, Mike, anytime you play against Boston College, they run so many ball screens, dribble handoffs. Referees might take a look at the monitor because there was contact above the shoulder in the head area, and they're going to take a look to see whether or not there's a flagrant foul that is warranted in this situation. Yeah, he definitely got him in the head. Now, again, I think it's more intent. And obviously, right there, that's a basketball play. He's trying to block the shot. That's not like a guy chasing somebody down out of control, trying to break up a fast break. He's just trying to make a play on the ball to make a block, and happened to catch him with.
Yeah, got him in the head there with part of his arm. Now a flagrant one, definition unnecessary or excessive, and it would be 2 shots and the ball if they deem that and upgrade it to a flagrant one. If not, they keep it a regular foul. It'll just be 2 shots at the line, and we've got no indication yet of whether or not that's going to be the case, but we'll find out. Nope, it's going to be kept at a regular foul, says Mike Eads. So good job by the officials to come together, go take a look at it.
And that's the right call.
Yep.
Again, the intent. And again, there was nothing malicious about that. Certainly making a play on the ball, and I like that. They did not take a lot of time on that. 17 straight free throws made by BC, and that's the broadcaster shakes. That's what happens. Okay, sorry about that. Eagles fans, still 71-70 now. BC in front. Mitchell, what a night he's had, though, in all aspects, offensively and defensively. Sophomore connects on the second. 2-point ball game coming up on 6 minutes to play here tonight. Well, if I'm Providence, I'm trying to get a look down low for Watson. Let him go to work.
Instead, it's Reeves for 3 and a lead for Providence. Count it.
Or that guy right there. I've never seen a freshman quite some time coming off down screens with the footwork that A.J. Reeves has.
Now it's Reeves' chance to take over with the last 8 points. Ball knocked away. And there's a clear-out foul called. And it's going to be on Providence. Diallo, that's going to be his 4th.
Watch his footwork right here. One of the best pure shooting freshmen I've seen in college ball. Squaring up, footwork on point, closeouts late. And he is a big guard, goes about 6'6", and great elevation on his jumper. He is a guy that is going to be playing for a Tech at the next level. He is just that talented.
Tied at 73. Mitchell at the free throw line. I'm with you, though, about Reeves. Diallo, though, picks up his 4th personal foul. I mean, when you come in as a freshman at that size, like you said, 6'6", 210, you're kind of already halfway where you want to be. I mean, of course, he's going to get stronger, but he's got so many attributes that are helping him succeed at a high level.
Does not look or play like a freshman.
Agreed. Far corner, Duke. That's a 3 ball. That's an air ball. Offensive rebound, Watson. Here's Reeves again. Diallo, offensive rebound, and he's fouled. Too many chances. Third foul on Hamilton for BC.
Bodies were flying all over the court for BC on that possession, and that's just a big-time offensive rebound by Diallo.
Six for 6 now at the free throw line for him. BC has shot 86% from the free throw line tonight, and now Providence, after the miss there, 11 of 17. Nice feed, Hamilton from Tabs. One-point lead again for the Eagles, under 5 to go. White gets a step and finishes.
Well, that's on the big for Boston College. You got to hedge harder on that ball screen, but credit White blowing down the corner and then finishing that time up and under with the left hand.
Chapman coming off a screen. Good job to recover defensively by White, but he's going to be called for the foul.
Well, this is how you run a fast break off of a miss in the free throw. One dribble, throw it ahead, and poor transition D that time. And then White right here again. Hamilton's got to get out and stop dribble penetration. Although White that time, degree of difficulty finish with the left. That's just better offense right there.
Tracking one of those games here tonight, Malcolm, where it's whoever's going to have the ball last, right? I mean, here we go again, tied up at 76. Chapman's got 23. Free throw shooting, though, has been outstanding for BC, and that's a great sign as we head down the stretch run here. They're at 87%, 26 of 30.
Boston College right now in a 3-2 matchup zone. You have to identify, though, Reeves if you're Boston College.
And he has it, top of the key. Watson goes back into the post. Got Chapman on him. They couldn't give it to him. Here's Reeves. Jump ball. It is BC possession. And we'll have it when we come back. 3:58 left in this one, going back and forth. It's a one-point game. Urban Meyer's decision to retire at Ohio State. Rachel Nichols comes by, her conversation with Kyle Lowry, and Barry Melrose breaking down the Stanley Cup rematch. All that and more with SVP on ESPN and the ESPN app, and all the fun that Scott Van Pelt brings to that show tonight. Make sure you're on board with that. 11:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Here tonight, 77-76, BC by a point. Mike Corey, Malcolm Huckabee. These teams have played a home and home for the past 12 seasons. Series tied 6-6, and you know, it's amazing. The home team has won the last 8 meetings in this series. Let's see what happens here tonight. Underneath, Hamilton, foul, count the basket.
Jarius Hamilton has been impressive. Nice little slip of the screen after setting the screen for Chapman. He just slipped that time, and then the freshman to freshman pass on point, and Jarius Hamilton has been impressive all night for Boston College. That's just smart basketball that time after setting a screen to slip.
Well, you called it, Malcolm. Tabs. Get it and the inside pass, and now it's a 4-point lead for BC. 3.5 to go. Three-pointer, it's short by Diallo, and the ball is out of bounds to the Eagles.
Well, Mike, attacking that 2-3 matchup zone has been problematic for Providence. They got to try to get the ball to the center, that foul line area, and then attack from there.
Yeah, nothing wrong with trying to go inside of Watson, who's on one heck of a game tonight. Now he's on defense on Mitchell, and it's out to Bowman with 10 to shoot. Bowman, tough runner, but it's going to go down. He's got 15. Duke on the kick out, wide open is Reeves. Can't let that happen. He nails it.
Well, it's just impressive to watch these freshmen perform on this stage. That time, 2 freshmen getting it done for Providence. That's just excellent dribble penetration, breaking down that zone, and then Reeves did the rest.
Well, first you have the junior, and then you go to the freshman. Here with what we've seen, Bowman.
Well, that's just good D right there. There's nothing you can do. That's just a big-time shot by one of the better guards in the country. And then right here, one of the best shooting freshmen I've seen. Look at the footwork, set up, the close is late. And that's a big-time shot by A.J. Reeves, and that's all set up by dribble penetration, not passing the ball around, penetrating that zone and then kicking it out. That's excellent execution on the offensive side by Providence against that 2-3 matchup zone by Boston College.
13 points for Reeves tonight. He's shooting almost 50% from three-point range on the season with 22 threes going down. Here's the look at it tonight for both teams, and they both shot a very high percentage. So now, with 2:40 remaining, Boston College possession hanging on to a 3-point lead.
Well, the pick and roll defense has got to be on point for Providence right here.
Chapman inside to Hamilton. Works on White. Whistle. Traveling violation. That's key right there.
Well, that's a nice job by Providence taking the ball out of Bowman's hands. And that's what you want if you're Ed Cooley. Ball out of Ky Bowman's hands. Let somebody else go to work.
Two minutes to go. Reeves thinking about the tie. And getting a hand on the rebound was Watson, and he got pushed from behind. So 4 fouls now on Hamilton. It's going to send Watson to the free throw line.
Well, Ed Cooley has one of the best records in close games in the last 6 years. His record 47-20 in games that are decided by 6 points or less. And that's over the last 6 years. And this is something that he practices. Beginning of shoot around, they were working on it in practice. And obviously it has been a formula for success for him in close games, and they've executed.
It is now a 1-point game once again. 1:45 left. Chapman. Good job by Reeves on the closeout, but he finds Hamilton. 11 of his 13 in the second half for Hamilton. Diallo right back the other way, backing his way in. Not there, Mitchell the rebound.
Well, you can't ask for a better look if you're Providence. Diallo got basically underneath the basket. Little jump hook, just a little too strong, but that's a good look if you're Providence.
Chapman coming off the screen, not there. It's Bowman. Inside 10 to shoot. Kicks it. Hamilton for 3. That could have really put the hurt on. Here's Duke. Quickly up the floor. And a foul. And the basket counts from White.
Excellent offense. Both teams executing. When it counts right here, nice little dump off pass. Chapman. And then on the other end, I'm not sure how he got this one to fall. Falling down, body control, kept his eyes on the rim the whole time, and with a chance for a three-point play. An opportunity to tie this game up with 48 seconds to go.
Hamilton's probably went through all the emotions, right? Number 1 there for BC, has the dunk, then just missed a shot in the corner, and then comes back and was slightly moving enough to be called for his 5th personal foul, so he's out. And now it's White a chance to tie the game on a three-point play, and he does.
Well, this is where your star needs to step up. I would expect a high ball screen with Ky Bowman in this situation.
17-second differential, shot clock and game clock, and it's Bowman on the take, and he's going to be fouled. So you're right on as he tries to take matters into his own hands. It's going to go to the free throw line.
And if I'm in that situation right there, with Hamilton on the bench, I'm trapping Bowman. I'm getting the ball out of his hands and to force John Carlos Reyes, who just checked into the game, who's basically been on the bench the whole second half. I would get the ball out of Bowman's hands if I'm Providence in that situation. Easier said than done.
Yes, exactly. Foul on White, and Bowman missing the first. Now 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. What I did like, though, is how quickly they tried to make something happen to get essentially a 2-for-1, right, Malcolm? I mean, still 35 seconds left. Of course, the shot clock at 30. You don't want to take it down and then give Providence a final chance at it, right? So,
well, in that situation, though, obviously you want a tie ball game. You want to get the best shot available. And obviously, Bowman missing the first free throw, so now they got a 1-point lead.
And it's Providence possession, a 4.5-second differential, shot clock, game clock. Down by 1. Find Reeves, cutting underneath the basket, coming off a screen. Thought about the 3, drives it in, blocked, out to White. That is a 3. No good. Foul on the rebound, going the other way.
What a block out that time by Chapman. Scramble situation. Providence had a couple of clean looks, that time White. And then Chapman with the box out, and yes, Diallo with the swing of the arm. And again, that's a point of emphasis this year. And certainly that's a big block out and change of possession going in favor for Boston College.
So Diallo is now fouled out. 15 points tonight, 13 of which came in the second half. He started this half, Malcolm, 4 for 4, but he missed his last 5 shots, and now he's got to watch the rest from the sidelines. 11.3 seconds to go. BC to the free throw line here. Getting final instructions of these crucial seconds here at the end of this matchup. This has been fun here tonight. Really good crowd on hand as well. Conti Forum. And it has gone back and forth all throughout. It was a big run by Providence early to take the lead. Boston College had a big run to come back. And then ever since that point, midway through the first half, we've been neck and neck.
It's been back and forth. The energy in this building has not disappointed in this game, and right now Jordan Chapman with 2 big free throws. Make or miss, though, Providence is going to have a chance to either tie this game or go ahead, depending on what Chapman does. And a little sportsmanship that time by the freshman Winston Tabbs, trying to get in Ed Cooley's huddle, and the referees stepped in as well too.
Chapman is at the free throw line. One more to go, and a timeout is taken. Chapman really carrying things for BC tonight. 25 points. 7 of 9 from the field. He's been outstanding.
He has been the key in this second half for Boston College. Right here in transition, degree of difficulty off the chart. But this is what Jordan Chapman is. This is what he brings to the table. One of the better catch and shoot players in the ACC. And he caught fire in the second half. And look at those numbers. Impressive.
Malcolm, let's talk scenarios here, okay? Free throws made is a 3-point game for the Eagles. If not, a 2-point lead. If Providence is able to get the rebound, you know, what do you got both ways? Because that's what's got to be talked about right now when you're the coaches. You know, one way or another, what are we doing?
Well, we saw Ed Cooley work on this, and this is the reason why his record is so good in games decided by 6 points or less. They're going to try to get a quick hitter, make or miss, up the court, and I would expect Reeves to have some type of back pick, step out for a curl for a jumper. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time, 11.3 seconds left, but Chapman obviously has to make the free throw first, and that's going to determine whether or not they decide to go for a 3 or try to get a deuce.
It is a 3-point game. 11.3 remaining. Here we go. Providence, David Duke, down by 3. 5 seconds. Reeves for the tie. He got it. Heads up. 2.6 remaining. Bowman for the win for BC. And we're going to overtime. How about that? The freshman, A.J. Reeves, nailing a monster 3.
We saw them run that same play at the beginning of shoot around and then at the end. You can't execute it any better than this. And again, it does not happen by mistake. That is execution, but that's by repetition. Pinned down. No communication that time by Boston College, and that is a big-time shot by A.J. Reeves.
Looking forward to overtime. We'll have it for you when we come back to Boston College. How about this guy? A.J. Reeves for 3 and the tie, sending us to overtime here tonight. Malcolm here at Boston College. This game has been outstanding.
And that play right there, again, we saw them run that in shoot around, but that's a lack of communication that time by Boston College. Look, you're up 3. The last thing you can do is give up a 3. You got to switch that, jump out. You can give up a 2, but in that situation, you cannot give up a 3. And the execution, again, credit Providence, Ed Cooley and his staff. They do a great job of planning for these end-of-game situations. And at that time, the freshman, A.J. Reeves, hitting a big-time 3 to send this game into overtime.
And you certainly cannot give up a 3 to one of the nation's best percentage-wise 3-point shooters. He is at 50% shooting the 3 ball this season, and he goes, you know, he did it right here in BC's backyard. You know, he played his ball at Bremer and May School, 1.4 miles down the road from campus. Grew up in Roxbury, Massachusetts, not far away, and now his 3-pointer has sent this thing into overtime. Another 3, this one off the mark by Reeves, and here we go the other way for BC. There's a foul call. Reeves is going to be called for the ticket. It's just his 2nd of the night. But both teams are in the double bonus, so it's going to be 2 free throws now from Mitchell.
Well, could not see what was going on as they were transitioning to the other end, but certainly not a good foul by A.J. Reeves.
Mitchell now 9 points, 9 for 12 at the free throw line. That's where they've come, and also 10 rebounds to his credit. 2-point BC lead. Nice feed underneath. Basket of the foul. And that is Watson on the feed from Duke, and Providence can go up a point here.
What a post pass that time by the freshman point guard Duke. And Watson doing a great job establishing position in the paint. And if you're John Carlos Reyes, he's got to get him out of the paint. That's just too deep. And Watson has feasted on that all night.
Just over a 50% free throw shooter, though, is Watson. We remain at a tie game at 89. Mitchell feeds it to Tabs off the screen. He got fouled. Hit from behind by Malik White. And that's going to be it for White. He has fouled out of the game tonight, so let's not forget, best player for Providence, Alpha Diallo, he's on the bench. He fouled out. Malik White, the junior, he is now fouled out. Still 4:10 to go in overtime. And what does Providence do here? Where do they go from here now?
Yeah, that's really a tough one. Obviously, the one that really hurt, having your best player, Alpha Diallo, on the bench in overtime. Like Nichols is going to get the call, Jimmy Nichols Jr. for Providence, and now you're going to have to rely heavily, if you're Providence, on your freshman backcourt to close out this game in overtime. If you're Boston College, you have to feel pretty good that you still have your star player Kai Bowman on the court in overtime.
Tabs at the free throw line, and although that one rolls off, it really has been the free throws that has kept BC, in this position tonight. I mean, Malcolm, they've went to the free throw line now 38 times. They're 32 of 38 at 84%. But 0 for 2 on this trip.
Well, you got two options now if you're Providence. A.J. Reeves has been the hot guy, but I wouldn't forget about Watson as well, too. Nate Watson. That matchup against John Carlos Reyes, and they're going to go right to it.
You called it. Here it is. And Watson gets bumped and almost got the basket. It's going to be on Mitchell. Second foul on Stephon Mitchell for BC. And when you have to respect his ability inside, like you said, that's got a chance to free up your shooters out there with Reeves. Watson has been a huge presence down low and connects on the free throw.
And it forces Boston College to make a decision. Do you double and leave him single coverage against Reyes? That's a matchup advantage Providence. And then when you double, you have shooters around in Reeves. So again, it's an interesting decision that Boston College is going to have to make if they stay in man-to-man.
Here comes that high ball screen for Bowman from Reyes. Tabs gets a step. Crazy running out there, and rebounded by Watson. Duke, he's got Reeves ahead of the pack. Timeout, BC.
Right here, poor decision by Tabs. Imbalance on the other end, poor transition D, and heads-up play by the freshman backcourt of Providence. Get the ball ahead, and A.J. Reeves continues to make big buckets for Providence.
How about this matchup? These two teams get together for Providence. It's one of 6 schools that the Friars have played over 100 times in their career as a program. In BC falling last year by 20 to this team on the road. Trying to respond here tonight. But down by 3 with 3:21 to go in overtime. Have to go back to the 40s when these two teams got together for the first time. Along with Holy Cross, Providence is BC's most common opponent that they played. The history goes back a long time. You got Ed Cooley now coaching the Friars, trying to diagram what's next here with 3:21 left. Jim Christian for BC. Highly contested matchup. I love it how close this is here tonight between these two programs.
Yeah, and I think offensively now, if you're Jim Christian, they've run the ball screen a couple of times now. It has not worked out. I think the biggest thing he needs to tell his club, make or miss, they have to limit the easy transition buckets. That time, Bowman had no choice but not to foul in that situation because they had a 2-on-1 situation. So, again, you cannot, that's almost like a turnover. When you force a shot like that, you don't have any balance for your transition defense to get back. I think Bowman, again, still, you want the ball in his hands in a high ball screen situation. Somebody else, though, is going to have to step up and make a shot. Right now, Providence doing a nice job taking the ball out of Bowman's hands. So, again, your young freshman or Chapman is going to have to step up and make a play.
Well, Bowman's averaging 19.4 points a game. He's got 16 here tonight. It's really been Chapman that's kind of led the way, the senior for BC, more than doubling his point production. 26 points tonight, normally averaging 12 a game. And he's the top scorer of anybody on the court tonight. Reeves has a game-high 23 for the Providence Friars right now as they lead by 3, and there he is with 3:21 still to go in overtime.
Yeah, and I think for Boston College, strategically on defense, you're going to have to double Nate Watson, but you can't do it off of Reeves. You're going to have to either leave Nichols, who's in the game, or David Duke, who's really not a great three-point shooter, but you cannot leave A.J. Reeves in this situation. So again, defensively, you're going to have to double. Offensively right now for Boston College, they got to get a quality look. The last 2 possessions have not been good looks on offense.
I was thinking about that exactly what you said. You got to maybe think about doubling Watson, but where's it going to come from? And you got to pick your poison there, but certainly Reeves, who's the one that hit that 3 to tie this game to go into overtime. Let's see who comes up with the ball here on the offensive end, though. It is critical in this possession right now for the Eagles.
I love the change of defense by Ed Cooley out of the timeout, going to a matchup zone.
Tabs goes baseline and is fouled. And that's the thing. With the way they've shot the free throws tonight, BC well over 80%, you don't need to be forcing outside jumpers right now. Tons of time, right? Take the ball inside, you get fouled, you get 2 coming up.
Yeah, plenty of time, but that's a bailout foul right there. Providence had them deep in the shot clock, 5 seconds left, and at that time Nichols did not get to the baseline to cut it off, and that's just, again, really a tough break for Providence because the change of defense really confused Boston College, made them take a lot of time on the shot clock, and they had them right where they wanted. Again, though, just a bailout foul.
You mentioned Watson, but he was the guy that picked up the foul. His 4th, 0 there in black for Providence. So now, what happens if, he maybe fouls out of this ball game? See if BC tries to go at him on the offensive end, but right now down by 1. Watson sets the screen for Duke. He was calling for it. He was open. They didn't give it to him. Instead, it's Jackson for 3, and it's rebounded by Bowman for BC.
That's not the look you want. Although Jackson has been shooting the ball well, I still think you got to play through Nate Watson on that possession.
Ball's in the hands of Mitchell. Watson's guarding him. Now Bowman, 10 to shoot. Chapman, they gotta hurry. 3 seconds. Chapman, NBA range 3. Did it get deflected? No, it's out of bounds. Chapman saying it got touched. It got tipped. The officials say no, and it's gonna be Providence ball. They confer with each other and say no. Air ball, Providence possession.
And that's great defensive possession by Providence. Close out, got Boston College again deep in the shot clock. Turnover.
2:05 left in OT.
Let's see if they get Watson a touch.
Watson setting a screen down low. Reeves has the ball in his hands. 2 most dangerous players out there right now. Shot clock for them is down to 5. Reeves. Bowman in his face. He got fouled. They're going to call Bowman with a foul. And now there's a little extra chatting going on that Mike Eads says enough of that. Tries to separate the players down there. It's going to be 3 free throws on the way for Reeves.
Mike, I would expect nothing less in a Providence-Boston College game. And both teams getting after it. Right here again, Boston College had them deep in the shot clock. Oh, I don't know about that one. It's been a great game by the officials. That one right there, from that angle, it did not look like he made contact, but nonetheless, he is on the free throw line.
Also have to see the flight of the ball, too, that was a little short. And yeah, that was a tough angle to see it from that perspective, but Reeves now with 2 more free throws. Team high 23 points, and he's missed the first 2. Providence is 1 for 5 at the line in OT.
That's 2 big misses by the freshman, A.J. Reeves.
Reeves gets 1 of 3, and he is their best free throw shooter as well, so now it's only a 2-point game. Hang on tight, everyone. Minute 35 remaining. Friars by 2. Bowman to Chapman. Chapman for the tie. Fans at Conti Forum on their feet. Reeves, tough one, not there. Foul on the rebound. BC.
What a curl cut on that previous possession. Look at this. Curl. Help is late. That's an easy bucket. Nice execution. But then on the other end, this has been the problem area for Boston College. A nice inside position. Again. I'm not sure on that one as well. Looked like 2 guys fighting for position. Luka Kraljevic was called for the foul for BC. Watson. Got him. He has been huge in this game for Providence. 19 points for Nate Watson, the sophomore. 2-point lead again for the Friars. Where's Chapman? He's got a team high and a game high 28. There he is. Not there. Tip ball, and now we've got a foul on Providence on this rebound attempt. Gonna be David Duke on the hold, and that's his 4th. And it's going to be Stephon Mitchell for the 2 free throws now. All of his points have come from the free throw line tonight. 10 of 13. And that's pretty good for a guy that came into this game shooting 44% right from the free throw line. He's got a double-double with 11 rebounds as well. Big miss. Rebound Jackson. We are now under a minute in overtime. Providence hanging on to a 1-point lead. Jackson off the Watson screen twice. Here's Reeves. 5 to shoot. Jackson. And they'll call the foul on BC's Kraljevic. His 3rd. And 2 free throws coming here for the Friars with 33.9 seconds left. At a 1-point lead. All right here, pretty good defense. Oh, wow. Yeah, that one right there just looked like their feet got tangled up. Certainly was not a kick, and that is a big break for Providence. It looked like he was just sliding his feet, trying to stay in front. Providence has struggled at the free throw line tonight, though. Jackson does hit the first. That's 65% shooting for this team. Look at this, 96 tonight, the highest scoring game
under Coach Ed Cooley in his 8th season. Jackson makes it a 3-point game. All right, at the end of regulation, it was Reeves that hit a 3 for Providence to send it to OT. Does something happen similar for BC instead of foul as Bowman was driving? And that's on David Duke, and he is fouled out for Providence. Diallo fouled out. Malik White fouled out. David Duke is now fouled out. 9 points tonight for him. 9 assists as well.
Well, he has done all you can ask against Ky Bowman on the defensive side. He has been impressive, really holding Bowman in check, relatively speaking, in this game. Bowman with 16 points. And,
right.
You know, Duke has been on him the majority of the time. And for the freshman point guard, again, that's all you can ask. But right now, out of the game, 27 seconds to go, and overtime. 2 big free throws coming up, though, for Ky Bowman. And Danny Ainge and the NBA execs on hand tonight, still in the building.
Wow, Bowman. 1 more free throw. He has 16 points, 7 boards, 4 assists tonight. But 4 of 6 at the line. This one's crucial, and he got it. 2-point game, 27.1, timeout. And we'll talk things over here. All right, Malcolm. Defensively for BC, you said it. You still got Watson in there. You still got the shooting from Reeves. There's a lot of options right now for Providence with a 2-point lead, kind of in the driver's seat here on the offensive end.
Yeah, obviously they don't have to take a shot. For Boston College, you don't have to end this situation right now. If you're Boston College, there's no need for you to foul right away. Again, 27 seconds left. You're going to try to set up your full court pressure, come up with a steal off of a trap. Now, these are the situations that you practice every day, day in and out of practice, in the game situations, not only on offense, but on the defensive end. So Boston College, again, trap, try to come up with a steal. You have a chance to get another trap, again, 27 seconds, but once you get under that 15-second mark, then you're going to have to think about fouling.
This has been one fun game here tonight between these two. Providence 6-2 on the season. Boston College 6-1. Friars, they get it in to Jackson, and he got fouled. There's Chris Herron, who gets called for the ticket. That is now his 4th. He's had a really good game tonight. 9 points. And now to the free throw line goes Jackson. He's 2 for 2 tonight. How about this, Malcolm? 55 fouls tonight, and that was just our 76th free throw attempt.
Wow.
And a huge miss. Jackson, 1 of 2, back to a 3-point game.
If you're Boston College, you still don't need a 3 in this situation. It's okay if it's off of a good penetration and kick out to an open one, but still plenty of time.
Bowman thinking quick 2, like the idea. Not there, though. Rebound by Providence. And now you've got a foul. Reeves gets it out. No fouls called. Here is Jackson. And they finally get on him as Chapman is called for the foul with just 8.3 seconds to go. Bowman had gotten a step, just couldn't quite get it to go down.
Oh, right idea. He got a clean look. That's one he would love to have back. That's just a layup that he missed. Not much pressure, and then to compound it by Boston College, they don't foul right away. A lot of clock went off before they were able to get the foul.
And now a 4-point game thanks to Jackson, with 8.3 seconds remaining here in OT. for 6 in overtime by him at the line. 5-point lead. Bowman launched it up a 3. Not going to be there. Not enough. And Providence able to come away with a 5-point overtime win here on the road at BC tonight. And one heck of a basketball game.
Wow. They did not disappoint. Back and forth at the end, though. Providence did a little bit too much. A.J. Reeves, remember that name. One of the best freshmen in college basketball.
24 points for Reeves. Game-tying 3 to send it to overtime, and Providence wins it 100-95. For Malcolm Huckabee, Mike Corey, so long. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, everyone.